So in today's video, we're going to take a look at the new Samsung Galaxy A11. So this phone's available in 3 different colors. You've got black, blue, and this version is white. It's got a 6.4-inch HD display, 32 gigabytes of storage, 2 gigabytes of RAM. It takes a micro SD card up to 512 gigabytes. It's got an octa-core 1.8 gigahertz processor, 4000 milliamp hour battery. Rear camera on this is a 13 megapixel f1.8, plus it also has a secondary camera for depth. That's a 2 megapixel, and it has a third lens, which is f2.4, plus it has an ultra wide 5 megapixel at f2.2. Now the front camera is an 8 megapixel at f2.0. Now I paid about $165 for this one, but I'll leave a link in the description below with current pricing and more information. Inside the box you're going to get quick start guide and warranty information. The good thing is this is USB-C charging. It looks like this has an adaptive fast charging brick, so we'll definitely have to time that and see how long it takes. They even throw in some wired headphones. And of course the SIM card ejection tool. Oh wow. Okay, so this actually looks really nice. So the back on this is a white plastic, but it has some kind of metallic sheen to it. You can't really tell from this video, but yeah, this looks really good in person. You can see the 3 cameras there on the back, along with the flash and fingerprint scanner. The power and the volume buttons there on the right hand side are that same white color. Headphone jack and microphone there on the top. Speaker and charging port there on the bottom. SIM card tray is on the left hand side. You can see it's a dual SIM plus micro SD card. It does have a hole punch front facing camera up in the corner. And I've got to say the build quality on this seems really nice. It sort of reminds me of my wife's Pixel 3a XL. When setting this phone up, you're going to get face recognition, fingerprints, pattern, PIN, and password. For a 720p display, this actually looks pretty good. So currently it's got 20.8 gigabytes left of the 32 gigabytes available. Some of the gestures you have are double tap to wake, easy mute, finger sensor gestures, where you can open and close the notification panel using the fingerprint sensor, and then swipe to call or send messages. Some of the Samsung apps are pre-installed. Same thing with Google. And there are a few from Microsoft as well. Luckily, you can uninstall LinkedIn and Microsoft Office if you don't want them. Now, for some reason, they don't allow you to uninstall Facebook. In the notification shade, you've got quite a few options here. Ultra data saving, Dolby Atmos, Smart View, Mobile Hotspot, Do Not Disturb, Focus mode, and dark mode. You've got a shortcut here to power off, restart, and emergency mode off. You can also change the button order, quick panel layout, a status bar, and contact us. Okay, so that's a quick look at the software. So now let's go ahead and start testing this out and see if you should buy the Galaxy A11. I'm just shocked that the camera is this good for just a little over 150 bucks. Usually on cheaper devices, the shutter speed is really slow, but not on this device. It's actually pretty good. Yeah, see, even my dogs think so. Even the color looks pretty accurate on here. Now this is on One UI 2.0, Android 10. In the camera app, you've got Panorama, Pro, Live Focus, Photo. You can switch to the wide angle. And then video, same thing. You can do wide angle on that as well. For doing video with the rear camera, you got 16:9 full or 1:1 ratio. Resolution, you can choose 720p or 1080p. And you've got the same settings for the front camera as well. This also has auto HDR. Just like other Samsung devices, you've got some filters to pick from. And you also have a beauty mode. So here's a few samples of photos and video so you can get a good idea of what this phone is capable of. I was pleasantly surprised how good the photos look from this device. I mean, for just over 150 bucks or cheaper depending on where you get it, I feel you really do get a lot for the money you're spending. Now keep in mind that just like with all other cell phones, it's going to depend on lighting on whether you're going to get good photos or bad. You can go up to 60 frames per second at 720p on YouTube videos. Let me give you a quick sample of what the speaker sounds like on this device. And even though PUBG Mobile is at the lowest graphics settings, it still played pretty good in my opinion. Especially when you're only paying 130 bucks for this tablet. It had very minimal choppiness, and I ended up winning my first match without too much trouble. Here's some more game footage, just to show you what it looks like. Hopefully this video gives you a little more information on the new 10.1-inch Pro tablet by Walmart's On brand. Now, is this really a Pro tablet? Even though there is only one speaker, I gotta say I think it's plenty loud enough. It's definitely not gonna win any awards for how good it sounds, but I don't know if you can really ask for much more at this price point. It doesn't look like the speeds are as fast as on my OnePlus 7 Pro. 20-some megabits per second, it's not bad. For straight talk anyways. If you're on say like Cricket Wireless, they actually throttle the speed down to like 8 megabits per second. Here's a quick size comparison next to the Pixel 3a XL, just to give you an idea of how big this phone is. You can see the screen on this is actually a little bigger. Now you see what I mean when I say this reminds me of the Pixel 3a XL. They're very similar in size and materials and just the overall look. Unfortunately, if you are a Fortnite fan, apparently this device is not compatible. Now with this phone, graphics settings for PUBG Mobile are the lowest with smooth frame rates, but luckily the game is really optimized for cheaper devices like this. I did play a few matches and had no issues whatsoever, hardly any choppiness or other issues that would prevent you from getting a chicken dinner. Well, unless all your teammates died like mine and left me against a team of 4. I also tested out Asphalt 9 to see how that played, and it was actually pretty smooth gameplay as well. It's amazing to me to see how good cheap devices are getting now. Not only performance, but the design and build quality of a device like this has came a long way from what they used to be. Battery life on this phone is really good. Maybe not as good as something like the Moto G stylus that I just reviewed earlier, but it did still manage to get almost 9 hours of battery life when doing my battery drain test. However, the charging cable is way too short in my opinion, but it does only take about 2.5 hours to charge from 0 to 100%. So hopefully this video gave you a little more info on the Samsung Galaxy A11. Like I said before, it's crazy how good these cheaper phones are getting. I'd have no problem recommending this phone for someone who is upgrading from something like the Galaxy A10 or the A10e. I know to some people this bezel along the bottom might bother them, but I don't know, for me it doesn't really matter. I still think it looks really good. So if you'd like to see more budget devices like this, I'm definitely going to try to cover more devices like this in the future. Plus I've got a couple more tablets on the way that I'm really looking forward to. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.